thinking is actually understanding that your thinking processes are molded into a specific system, whether you know it or not, whether it's unconscious or conscious. And the goal here, using systems thinking, is to recognize when you're thinking, communicating, existing within one system or one set of parameters, basically, and when you're in a different one. And those of us who are chameleons tend to go from one to the other. For myself, I know that I have an intellectual way of thinking. I have a mathematical way of thinking. I have an emotional way of thinking, and I have a spiritual way of thinking. And the spiritual is definitely my favorite system because it puts everything together.
Okay, so a minute or less. What is systems thinking? Systems, a certain structured way of doing a thing or things, very organized. It involves discipline, tolerance, and production. And thinking is a perspective, a viewpoint on the way you see a thing or the way a thing should operate, maybe. So for me, then, a systems thinking is a very structured way that involves discipline and production and tolerance to show people or to show oneself the way to do a specific thing as effectively as possible, I would think, because then it's systems thinking, right? So it's various systems that you are using to improve the quality of one's living or being. My minute's almost up.
What is systems thinking? Well, it could be systematic thinking of in terms of systems. Systems are different machines, different entities, which have different functions, different ends. It's like adhering to a system, like putting yourself with a system, putting your thoughts towards a system, working as a part of the system, for the system. There can be many different systems. What systems are we talking about? So I imagine like organizing ourselves in certain ways, organizing our thoughts. This is primarily what I see systems thinking, organizing our thoughts in a way that they work for us and not against us.
Systems thinking is holistic and it mimics nature. All of nature has so many interconnections, we can't even catalog them all. There's a deep interconnectedness that is beyond the conscious mind, yet this is a process that brings a lot of this to the conscious mind to organize it, to make these systems operate the way that is the most beneficial and requires the least inputs. It's the ability to think about an object or a subject from the perspective of the fine details as well as the bigger picture, and to do so from multiple perspectives, and then to use that information to organize systems. Systems thinking is a way to ask how many problems one can solve with any work that they aim to do, and how that can be accomplished with what would otherwise be waste from other existing elements of their surroundings, of the systems they're working within. Each element serves and is served by many other elements in the system. It's a way to create the most amount of benefit for the least amount of unnatural or superfluous inputs.